Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our 8 o'clock habit. Tonight's activity and presentation is presented to us by CCG Philippines, a leadership search and development organization who develop, educate, equip, and empower professionals in entrepreneurship and holistic approach. Okay, so I am Brenda Maceda. I'm an accountant from Davao City, and I will be your host for tonight. So am I coming out loud and clear? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so tonight's activity is also live on Facebook. So I want to greet everybody here in Zoom and also in Facebook. Um, okay, so good evening again. Some rules for better sound quality. Everyone will be muted, except of course me and the speaker. And however, we would like to encourage you to utilize our chat box. For kindly please type in your name, city, and so that we will know where are you coming from. And also, as the presentation is ongoing, we also encourage you to put on your questions so that we can ask the speaker later for some clarification. And I'm also encouraging you that after this, we will have a breakout room so that we can discuss some things, or maybe you can meet with your friends in a smaller group. So I encourage you to put in your breakout room number after your name. But if you don't know your breakout room number, can you please ask your friend who invited you what's your breakout room number, so you can put it then there. And for the interest of uh, we will also encourage you to put on your video for better engagement. Okay, so I will just read some of the while waiting for the others to log in. I will just read some of the shout out. Good evening, everyone. It's Angel from Quezon City. Very excited for our talk tonight. Me too. I'm so excited for our talk tonight. And also Aldi and Maya from LA, Lower Antipolo. Okay, Sabina, from a student from Marikina. I believe you are very close to our speaker. Okay. Also, Elvira Doom from Davao City. Good evening, Elvira. It's good that there's no rain today here in Davao. And also, good evening, Kring from Makati. Okay. So, as I mentioned, this activity or this presentation is brought to us by CCG Philippines. If you are wondering what CCG means, it means an alignment of three heavenly bodies. So that's why here, for a common purpose, that's why here in our organization, we equip and develop and teach people how to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. And tonight's activity is for the healthy, how to be healthy, especially it seems that the COVID is almost on the second wave, so everybody wants to be healthy. And okay, so I will not put much of my time. I will like to introduce our speaker for tonight. He is a family medicine practitioner who specializes in helping patients achieve their desired weight and reverse their diabetes by shifting their lifestyle habits. Okay, he is a wellness advocate, emphasizing holistic approach to disease medicine and nutrition. Okay, so I know he is very passionate in helping patients not to go to the hospital. So without much further ado, I would like to introduce our speaker, Dr. Ricco Santos. Doc, you're still muted.
Yeah. Ayan. So, naririnig niyo ba ako? Malinaw?
Yes po.
Okay. Sige, share ko lang yung aking screen, ano? Mhm. Share screen. Nakikita niyo na yung screen? Yeah, can you see the screen?
Yes, Doc, we can see it.
Okay. Wow, maganda tong e-flyer ni Ryan. Favorite ko, kasama yung bag net. So, welcome everyone to our talk tonight. This is actually part one, no? Ryan said to chop my talk into two parts, no? Yun nga parate kong overtime. So I'm going to chop the talk into two parts. This one and for the next Sunday also, no? So before we begin, so this talk tonight is for medical information. This is not medical advice. You have to go back to your health provider for more detailed uh, advice, no? Preferably yung marunong na ng intermittent fasting and low carb lifestyle, no? So ultimately, you are responsible for your own health. So this is my clinic practice in Marikina. I also do now some teleconsulting for type 2 diabetes reversal and weight management. And a few months ago, I also do some teleconsulting for COVID positive patients, which keep me very busy. So this is what I do, teach people how to not need or to reduce medicines to a minimum. So I am an advocate for intermittent fasting and a keto diet lifestyle. The two modalities that can help you reverse type 2 diabetes, all the other conditions of syndrome X like obesity, gout, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, fatty liver disease, and even infertility problems caused by polycystic ovarian syndrome. So this is the mother and daughter that I've been coaching since last year, no? The one on the right is actually my classmate in medicine, and that is her daughter, also a doctor, a nephrologist. My classmate is a gynecologist, no? She was actually the part of my group sa internship sa UST, no? She is always my reliever, no? She was pregnant then with the woman on the left, no? So parati akong overtime, parati kasi siyang late or sometimes absent kasi buntis nga, merong mga nararamdamang mga symptoms during the pregnancy. Kaya hindi ako makakalimutan ng classmate ko na yan. So, we've been in touch since last year, coaching them to reverse, for weight management. Wala naman kasi silang issues, medical issues, only obesity. No, that was then, and that was before, and this was last April, no? Yan yung transformation, no? And now the lady on the right can do 30 hours fasting and 38 OMAD easily. And this is my two other patients. The one on the left is a retired public school teacher, no? 11 years diabetic, 9 years on insulin. In 3 months, she was totally off her insulin and all her other medications. The one on the right is a young man. So yan ang kanyang transformation. Although last year, nagkaroon siya ng konting challenges. So medyo nag-slide back siya pero is on the road back again. No? So this is actually one of the culprits why we have obesity epidemic now worldwide. No? It's because of the food pyramid instituted in 1974, where the base is mostly carbohydrates, no, sugar and starches, no. So ngayon, noong araw, ang nagsasabi yan, yung picture na yan, karamihan noon ay teen, pati yung nurse, teen din. Ngayon, karamihan ay malalaki na, pati ang mga nurse, no. Kasi ang tinuturo is ganun pa rin. Diet, eat mostly cereals, pasta, and potatoes. No? So, essentially, what we've been taught is totally wrong. So, ang mga tinuturo ko sa inyo ngayon is totally against the current guidelines na tinuturo ng mainstream medicine. So ito ang history ng fasting, no? It's always been part of human nature since the beginning of mankind. Food has been has always not been readily available, no? Parating ang tao ay naghahanap ng pagkain, no? And humans have to store food, energy as body fat in order to survive. Kaya nga yung fat stores natin is a way of the body to store food energy, no? Kaya nga lang nung araw, there are periods that we do not eat, kaya hindi nag-accumulate ng ganun kadami, no? So we would have died a long time ago if we did not have the efficient storage and retrieval method of food energy. And eating like our ancestors actually optimizes our biological functions, no? And it's widely practiced by virtually all major religions, no? Christianity, no? Catholicism, Buddhism, Islam, no? And the Greek Orthodox Church, no? Where most of the people in the Mediterranean are Greek Orthodox, no? They actually fasted for 180 to 200 days in a year in one form or another. So it's not just their Mediterranean diet that contributes to their health. It's actually fasting also that they practice all throughout the year. So ang difference ng fasting versus starvation, fasting is voluntary, abstention from eating for health and spiritual reasons. It is controlled. Food is readily available, but you choose not to eat. Whereas starvation is involuntary abstention from food. It is neither deliberate nor controlled, and you have no idea where your next meal will come from. Yan ang pagkakaiba ng fasting and starvation. So, who should not fast? Ito yung mga relative contraindications, no? Ng fasting, no? Yung mga pregnant women, syempre, kailangan nila ng food energy for their body and for their growing child. Syempre, yung newborn kasi growing yan, no? Yung mga young children, although sometimes children unintentionally fast when they are very busy playing with other children, no? And yung mga high-level athletes na kailangan nila carbs, especially mga sprints, no? And those who have past histories of eating disorders like anorexia and bulimia, no? Yung mga type 1 diabetic, kasi nga madali silang mag-hypoglycemia. At saka yung merong mga malnutrition, no? Yung pathological cachexia, no? Sobra na silang payat, so hindi sila pwedeng mag-fasting. So what is really the problem, no? Ito po ang problema natin, yung insulin. Insulin is naturally produced by and secreted by our body, no? Very important hormone yan. Pero like all other hormones, we do not need a lot. We just need micro secretions of insulin. But what happens is we are actually over-secreting insulin by how we eat and because of what we are eating. Too much sugar and carbs and too frequent eating. Yung pangyayari, no? Pag madalas tayong kumakain, syempre, pagkain tayo ng kain, insulin is secreted continuously by our pancreas to deal with the sugar load, no? And the protein load, no? Kasi kailangan ng insulin for cell passage sa cell membrane, no? Ng mga glucose and amino acids and even fats, no? Kailangan yan. Kaya nga lang, pagka parati tayo kumakain, secret ng secret such that yung baseline natin ng original basal insulin levels natin ay tumaas na, no? Nagkakaroon na tayo ng tinatawag na insulin resistance because of frequent, persistent secretion of insulin. Kasi any substance, when we are frequently exposed to it and persistently, we develop tolerance to it. Just like when we develop tolerance to alcohol, to sleeping pills, no? Eventually, pag parati natin ginagamit, kailangan itaas ang dose. No? Ganon din ang insulin. Pag parating tayong exposed sa insulin, our body develops tolerance or resistance to it. So, our pancreas secretes more and more of insulin. Kanya nga lang, may masamang epekto siya long-term, no? It actually protects us from acute effects of too much insulin, but it has long-term detrimental effects. Such as yan, obesity, heart disease, lipid problems, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, even dementia, which is now being called type 3 diabetes. We become prone to cancers, we develop infertility, such as yung polycystic ovarian syndrome, and a precursor to type 2 diabetes, yung non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So when we eat carbs to over-tolerance, we develop insulin resistance, which then leads to type 2 diabetes. To reverse it, we need to eat carb to under-tolerance, or sometimes we can do fasting, no? Mas mababa ang insulin when we do fasting. Yan ang problema. Too much insulin or hyperinsulinemia. Yan. This came from the book of Dr. Jason Fong, The Obesity Code. Ang cause ng hyperinsulinemia is too much carbs. Yan, yung fructose from sugar, sugary drinks, and too much starches, no? And too much high protein, no? And para ma-reverse natin yan, we do low carb, and ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon, itong fasting, no? Para ma-prevent natin yung metabolic syndrome or insulin resistance that will lead to the non-communicable diseases, no? Such as diabetes, heart disease, stroke, arthritis, etc., etc. The diseases of civilization, which is actually from metabolic syndrome or insulin resistance, but it's just the vehicle or the carro that gets you there, no? So, ganito po yan, no? Yung insulin, yan ang parang traffic police, no? When we eat, most of it, some of our food or sugars and carbohydrates are stored as glycogen in the liver and in the muscles, no? But most of the calories that we eat, that we don't use, get stored sa ating body fat storage, no? Sa ibang parts ng ating katawan, no? Beneath the skin, sa mga organs, sa mga internal organs like liver, pancreas, kidney, heart, no? Insulin helps in the storage of fat, no? So, yan. So, pag mataas ang insulin mo, parating storage ang gagawin ng katawan mo, no? So, para ma-reduce ang storage, no? So, yan. When insulin goes up, we gain weight, no? But when insulin, and in the presence of insulin, all fat burning hormones are shut down, like your growth hormone, glucagon, epinephrine, or epinephrine. Nasa shutdown niya kasi very, very dominant ang insulin, no? So, we cannot burn fat, no? But when insulin goes down, a person loses weight, no? So we can lose weight when insulin goes down. So ganyan ang mangyayari, no? Maliliit na yung insulin, no? Yung stored glycogen sa liver and muscles, no? Pag na-burn natin yan, now we can access the stored fat from our mga bilbil, no? So, ganito po ang mangyayari. We will be in ketosis, no? Ang magiging major source of fuel natin is our fats in the form of ketones. We become fat burners, no? Hindi po ito yung tinatawag na ketoacidosis, which is dangerous, no? Ang ketosis po is a natural physiological phenomenon na ginagamit ng katawan natin to use fat as fuel, no? Kanya nga lang, most people are sugar burners, meaning carb burners, no? Ang nilang mga enzymes, fat-burning enzymes and hormones are down-regulated. So, hindi kagad sila makapag-shift to being fat burners. So, we have to train our body to become fat burners, no? Kaya sa umpisa, is really, medyo mahihirapan ang nagsisimula sa fasting. But it can be done if you set your mind to it, no? So kasi pag glucose ang source mo ng energy, no, ang pinaka total calories mo, mga 1,700 calories lang, no? And yung moods and hunger and cravings, baba, taas. But when you source your energy from ketones, no, from fats, you actually have an enormous source of calories, around 70,000 calories, and your mood and cognition will improve. You will not be hungry, and your cravings will disappear, no? Isang contention nila dyan, isang objection nila dyan, no? Karamihan din mga doktor, no? But our brain actually, sabi nila, no, our brain uses 100% glucose, no? Pero that's not true, no? That's only true when you are a sugar burner, no? Kasi ang pinanggagalingan ng major source of energy mo, glucose. Kaya ang ginagamit lang ng yung brain is glucose kasi the body cannot access the ketones, the fats from your fat stores. Kaya ang ginagamit ng brain is mostly glucose. But when you become fat adapted, or when you can use your fats as a source of energy, the brain actually uses 75% from ketones and only 25% from glucose, which our body can naturally produce from the process of gluconeogenesis, or forming new glucose from fats, from fatty acids, and from protein. No? So kayang-kaya ng katawan natin na mag-source ng energy from fats when we are already fat adapted. No? And actually, isa pang ang ating heart, actually, ang major source ng fuel niya, no, is from fatty acids and ketones, no. Yan ang mas ginagamit ng ating heart, no. 100% actually ang heart natin, ang source niya ng energy is fats and ketones. Yan ang mangyayari. We will shift our fuel from glucose to ketones, no. And when we become fat adapted, meron tayong metabolic flexibility. We can use either sugar or fats or ketones as a source of energy. And sourcing our energy from fats is actually more energy efficient, no? And it will help our body heal, no? And yung nasa left, yan ang karamihan ng tao, no? Very inflexible ang kanilang metabolism. Mostly sugar ang source ng energy, no? Pagka nagkaroon ka na ng metabolic flexibility, ang most source of energy mo is from fatty acid utilization. So you can easily swing from fat to glucose as a source of energy. Pag sumobra ka sa right, sa left, sobra sa sugar, you become unhealthy, no? Pag sumobra ka naman sa left, you become too thin, or starvation na yon, no? So balance lang, no? Ito ang different approach to reversal, no, for weight management and diabetes reversal, no, to keep insulin low, no? Low carb, intermittent fasting, and high intensity interval training and strength training. With that approach, you can achieve reversal of the obesity and type 2 diabetes and most of the diseases of syndrome X, no? With the standard of care, wala po tayong reversal, no? We become dependent on medications, no? For life, no? Pagka ang gamot ay parati mong ginagamit for life, no? You cannot remove it. You don't actually get better. No? The only time that you can actually feel that you get better is when you are able to remove your medication without bad effects, no? Parang antibiotic, pag nagka-infection ka, no? At gumaling na infection, tinitigil mo na kasi magaling ka na. Pero with the standard of care of our non-communicable diseases, walang pagtigil. Parating sinasabi sa atin ng ating mga health provider is to maintain it for life, no? But with the different approach, you can actually remove it or maybe even reduce it to a minimum, no? Yan ang goal, is to lower insulin. So ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is the fasting part, no? Yung burning off the remaining sugar, no? Kasi ang nagpapataas ng insulin is yung mga carbs, combination of carbs and proteins plus fat, yung mga monosodium glutamate from processed food, yung mga sweeteners, no? Yung mga low-fat foods, no? Yung frequent eating, stress can also contribute, and also poor sleep, which is related also to stress, no? Para ma-decrease yung insulin, we can do intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating. Yan po ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon, no? Yung, hindi po yung low carb, no? And when we do intermittent fasting, we can actually imagine ourselves, no? Yung ating basal insulin, yung insulin levels natin ay bababa na sa normal. Kasi dati, pagka meron tayong metabolic syndrome, insulin resistant, ang insulin levels are actually 5 to 7 times normal than the normal. And when we have low levels of insulin, ito po mararamdaman natin, less hunger, no, yung belly fat natin mawawala, and even your blood pressure will normalize. Kaya ang unang naaalis kong mga medication is yung mga gamot pag high blood, no? Mag-i-improve yung blood sugar, kung meron kang diabetes, mag-i-improve blood sugar mo. Kung meron kang diabetes, mawawala din tinatawag na doong phenomenon na yung blood sugar mo mataas pagka umaga, pagkagising. You will have more energy and magkakaroon ka ng improved satiety, no? Kahit hindi ka na madalas kumakain, madali kang mabusog, makontento sa pagkain, no? Yan ang pangkaraniwan na nangyayari during fasting, na in 4 to 8 hours, blood sugar fall, no? Pero dahil nga meron tayong tinatawag na gluconeogenesis, our blood sugar actually normalizes, no? Our body keeps space, our liver keeps space, no? Para hindi bumagsak ang blood sugar natin below normal, no? Tapos makukonsume na yung mga glycogen stores natin from the liver and the muscle, no? So yung digestive system natin makakapagpahinga, no? Mag-start yung healing process, no? Mag-start na magtataas na yung ating fat burning, no? And by 18 hours, yung human growth hormone actually goes way up, no? Maganda yun kasi ang human growth hormone is actually anti-aging, and it's also a fat burning hormone, no? So nakakabata, no? And pagka naka 24 hours, yung autophagy nagsisimula na yun, wherein the body recycles yung mga dead cells, dead organelles, yung loose skin, nire-recycle ng katawan natin to be used again as a source of protein and other parts of the body, no? So magaling yung katawan natin. Kung ano man yung hindi na kailangan, i-recycle niya, gagamitin niya ulit at gagawin bago. Kaya nagkakaroon ng healing with fasting, no? For 36 hours, lalo pang nag-increase yung autophagy. 48 hours, then 72 hours, no? Pero hindi ko ituturo sa inyo yan. Masyadong mahaba na yan. Extended fasting na yan, no? Dito lang muna tayo sa intermittent fasting, no? Which is usually mga 16 to 24 hours lang, no? So, itong benefits niya, no? Reduce insulin, blood sugar improves, blood pressure improves, inflammation will improve, increase ang fat burning, growth hormone, metabolic rate actually increases. It does not slow down, no? Unlike sa low calorie diet, no? The metabolic rate slows down, no? Our cravings will be gone, blood lipids will improve, yung tinatawag na neurogenesis, no? Where we can, our brain actually makes new brain cells and makes new synaptic connections. Kaya nag-i-improve ang ating cognition and mood, no? Yan yung sinasabi ko kanina, autophagy and apoptosis. Enhance repair process for old and damaged cells through autophagy. Nangyayari yan pagka merong extended fast na 2 to 3 days, no? But actually, when you're already fat adapted, it can happen even at 16 hours to 24 hours, no? It can actually, yung fasting actually helps in regeneration, no? Ng pancreas, no? Ng beta cells ng pancreas, no? Yan. Kaya makakatulong siya sa may mga diabetes actually. So dahil sa autophagy, no? nakaka-reverse siya ng type 2 diabetes, na po-promote niya yung neogenesis ng beta cells, no? So, nagre-regenerate. So, ito yung mga medical benefits ng fasting, no? Improve mental clarity and concentration, body weight loss, no? And fat loss, no? Lowered insulin and sugar levels, reversal of type 2 diabetes, increased energy and growth hormone, blood cholesterol will actually go down, and we can prevent Alzheimer's, longevity, reduction of inflammation, at yung sinabi ko kanina, yung autophagy, no? And ito yung practical benefits, no? Simple, no? Very simple, no? You don't have to prepare anything. Yung mindset nyo lang ang kailangan i-prepare, no? Water, ang kailangan lang, water, black coffee, tea, or bone broth, no? Nothing including sugars or sweeteners. It's very cheap, no money spent on planning, shopping, or prepping meals. Time saver, no? Napakasimple, no? Time saver, no? Power, if you have the power over food and not eating for a set amount of time, what else do you have the power to do that you haven't unleashed, no? Pag yan na natutunan nyo, if you can control your cravings, no? Your food addiction, no? What else can you do, no? And it can be flexible. It can be done anytime, any place. You set the schedule. You actually set the schedule according to your lifestyle, according to what you do, no? It is something that you don't do. It is the removal of something that thing is eating. And actually, pagka natutunan niyo ito, you can recover very quickly from cheat days by fasting before the cheat day or after the cheat day. No? And you can actually apply it to any diet plan, no, that you like best. Pero actually, mas maganda kung ipa-partner nito sa low carb, no? Kasi pag low carb, you become more fat adapted, no? Easily become fat adapted kesa yung bumabalik yun sa dating gawin ng pagkain, no? Kung hindi pag low carb ang gagawin nyo, mas mahihirapan kayo mag-fasting o mag-intermittent fasting, na mas madali kayo magkaka-experience ng highs and lows of blood sugar when you do fasting, when you do not do it with low carb, no? Pero pag naging fat adapted na kayo, magagawa niyo yan. Like myself, no? Hindi naman ako totally low carb, no? Kumakain pa rin akong rice pag tanghali. Although I eat, no? We eat at home twice a day lang, no? So, kumakain kami ng rice, kumakain pa rin kami ng pizza, paminsan-minsan, but we easily become adapted, no? Hindi kami nagkakaroon ng hypoglycemia kasi fat adapted na kami dito sa bahay. Pero kung hindi pa kayo fat adapted, no, baka kayo ay mag-hypoglycemia. So, kailangan i-train nyo muna ang inyong katawan, no? Pag-aralan yung maigi ang fasting, ang intermittent fasting, no? Marami kayong makikita ng videos sa YouTube, sa internet, no? It should fit your lifestyle and saan kayo ready, no? Kasi merong ibang protocol sa fasting. No? You can do 16-8, alternate day, 5-2, meaning 5 days na fast, 5 days na eating, 2 days na fast, whether alternate or magkasunod na araw yung fast, no? Yung tinatawag na warrior diet, which is 24 hours, yung OMAD is 1 meal a day. No? Yan, pagkaraniwan. Fasting, no eating at all. And you are only allowed to eat during the eating window. Depende na yung kung ano ang gusto nyo. Pwede kayo magsimula sa 12-hour eating window, 12-hour fasting window. And then you shorten the eating window gradually, no? Or bibiglain, no? During the fast, you can take liquids, no? Ito ang pangkaraniwang pwedeng inumin, filtered water, tea, coffee without sugar, bone or veggie broth, apple cider vinegar and water, lemon water, yan ang mga pwedeng inumin during the fast. Ang hindi pwede, yung mga diet soda, dairy milk, coconut water, fruit juices, alcohol, and yung ating favorite na excess, hindi pwede during fasting yun, ha? During the eating window lang. Pero as much as possible, don't make it a staple, no? Ang sweets ay for celebrations, no? And you can add a few pinches of Celtic salt, Himalayan or sea salt, no, for sodium supplementation, cream of tartar for potassium, no, to add electrolytes do sa anong liquids. Kasi during fasting, no, you actually lose more electrolytes sa urine, no? So you have to replace it, no? Kasi pag bumababa yung insulin natin, no, we actually lose more sodium, potassium in our urine. Kasi ang insulin is signals the kidney to retain more salt and water. So pag bumaba yung insulin natin, no, we actually excrete, no, urinate more water with sodium and potassium. Kaya maaaring bumaba yung ating sodium and potassium sa dugo. Kaya kailangan natin i-replace, no? Otherwise, makakaramdam tayo ng mga signs of dehydration, no? Like cramps, headache, no? Yung tinatawag na keto flu, no? Ito yung mga advantages and disadvantages ng mga fasting drinks, no? Yung bulletproof coffee. Yung bulletproof coffee, merong added yan, butter, MCT oil, or coconut oil din sa coffee. Para yan sa mga baguhan sa mga fasting, no? You add fat to the coffee para matrain yung katawan mo to become fat adapted. Kaya nga lang, disadvantage niyan, you won't get as high as a release of human growth hormone, no? Tsaka yung autophagy, no? Mas maganda pa rin yung water fasting, no? Pero pagka baguhan lang, ito ang pwede mong gamitin. Yan, bone broth fasting, no? Para mas mapadali ka sa fasting mo. You can do that, no? Easier than water fasting kasi meron siya kasamang fat, some protein, electrolytes, at meron pang ibang mga, depende kung anong lalagyan mo, kung lalagyan mo rin ng mga gulay, no? So, makakatulong yan sa mga baguhan. You can actually do a green juice fast, no? Ganda for the liver and kidneys, the detoxification of the blood, no? Ayan, mga disadvantage nga, yan. More cravings due to carbohydrates in the juice, no? Kasi kahit na green juice yan, meron pa rin carbohydrates yan, especially kung ginus mo yung carbohydrates, no? Yung vegetables, no? So, hindi siya makakapagpataas ng levels ng human growth hormone, no? Hindi masyado rin sa autophagy, no? Yan, fat fast, yung mga dadagdag ka ng mga fats during the fasting, no? Mas comfortable ka during the fast when you add fat to your fasting, no? Pwede mo rin gamitin yung mga supplement na ganito, yung MCT oil, or ketones, exogenous ketones, para ma-stimulate yung ano mo. Tumaas ka agad yung ketones mo very quickly, no? Mas comfortable yung fasting. Or you can do actually a fat mimicking diet, no? Very low carb, high in fat, no? Pwede yun, no? Yan nga lang mga disadvantages. Food cravings along the way. Not as high release of growth hormone, no? Less autophagy, no? And stem cells as water fasting. Ito ang pinakamaganda, yung water fasting with electrolytes, no? The highest levels of human growth hormone, autophagy, stem cell development, stimulates the greatest healing response in the body. Gagawin mo lang ito pagka ikaw ay sanay na sa fasting, no? Yung water fasting, ito yung tinatawag na clean water fast, no? Kaya hindi ko pa sanay, huwag mo munang gagawin ito, mahihirapan pa sa fasting. So, pag break mo ng fast, no, do bone broth or apple cider vinegar para hindi mabigla yung tiyan mo, no? And ang priority after the fast is go for low carb as much as possible, no? Para maalis mo totally yung cravings. Kasi pag bumalik ka pa rin sa mga junk foods, unhealthy foods, no? Mas mahihirapan ka sa fasting. Fasting is not a license to eat junk food. No? Go for real foods pa rin. So number one priority mo is healthy real foods. Either animal-based, combination of animal and plants, or kung vegetarian or vegan ka, you can do it as a vegan or vegetarian. So ito yung sinasabi ko kaninang keto flu when you are deficient in electrolytes pag hindi mo nare-replace, no? Para kang run down, no? Keto flu, muscle cramps, fatigue, irritability, sleep problems, coldness, even constipation, and or mild diarrhea. Increased uric acid. So, nabe-prevent yan, lalo na increased uric acid by taking lemon water. Ha? Inom lang na few weeks. At dagdagan nyo ng lemon o calamansi. No? Citric acid prevents uric acid deposition. No? Yan, ito yung mga prevention ng keto flu. Pag yung nasa taas, yung mga symptoms ng keto flu, ang pang-fix is either sodium, magnesium, and potassium found in the foods or supplement below. No? Pag sodium, Himalayan salts, salted nuts, no? Magnesium, during the feeding window, you can eat dark chocolate, no? Yung pinaka-bitter, almonds, avocados, peanuts, okra, yung kamote tops, no? To fix potassium, dark leafy greens, avocado, okra, mushroom. Or you can actually add cream of tartar sa fluids mo, no? Kaya nakakaramdam ng palpitation kasi yan, yung potassium bumababa. No? These are all preventable if you do it properly. Kasi karamihan ng nagsisimula, hindi mo na inaaral maigi. No? Kailangan aralin mo maigi muna to prevent the side effects of fasting, no? And low carb. No? Ito yung mga issues na mararamdaman nyo. It's actually due to electrolyte problems. No? So, warning signs when to break your fast. Pag sobrang ng strong ang hunger mo, na napapalpitation ka, pwede rin mag-cause ng hair loss kasi, especially kung kulang na kulang ka sa protein, no? Pwede mag-cause ng kidney stones, pagka kulang ka sa hydration, no? Nausea or vomiting, yan, severe diarrhea, fainting or passing out, too weak to get out of bed. Actually, hindi mo na ma-experience yung pinaka-severe na yan, no? Mild pa lang, kumain na kayo. Magsimula muna kayo sa bone broth or apple cider vinegar, no? And you can actually take quality supplements during the fast, no? Multivitamins, pwede kayo mag-take niyan, omega-3, B vitamins during the fast, pwede po, no? Ang recommended ko is Nutrilite, no? 80 plus years in the market already, worldwide, no? Raw materials from their own certified organic farms, no? Ito yung mga key nutrients na nire-recommend ko, either during the fast or during the feeding window, no? A base of multivitamins, B vitamins, calcium, magnesium, D3, omega-3s, no? And on the case-to-case basis, during the feeding window, yung liver support, chromium picolinate, garlic, and green tea extract, no? Pag may mga problema sa liver, no? Hypertension or cholesterol, I add the ones below, no? So, bakit kailangan natin ng healthy fats, no? Kasi nakakatulong, it helps us, no, to become fat adapted, no? At saka yung omega-3 is actually one of the, lalo na yung DHA, no? It's the primary structural component of our central nervous system, including the eyes, no? It also helps in the heart, our bones, no? And lungs, no? It can accentuate the effect of intermittent fasting by inducing the production of ketones, used as alternative energy source by the brain and the muscle, reducing hunger, improving mood and cognition, no? And actually, yung EPA content ng omega-3 is anti-inflammatory, no? And also a blood thinner. Also, Nutri-Fiber Blend, no? Yung sa mga nakaka-experience ng constipation, no? Ng mataas yung cholesterol, you can actually use also Nutri-Fiber Blend, no? Nakakatulong yan. At nakaka-improve yan ng gut flora due to its fructo-oligosaccharide content, no? These are just the fasting milestone that you will experience, no? Milestone 1 to 6, no? Pwede yung screenshot yan, no? Yung autophagy can be enhanced by adding high-intensity interval training at the end of the fast, no? Isa pa nga palang napansin ko, no? Tayo, pag nagkakasakit, pinipilit tayong kumain, no? Sinasabi parati kumain para makarecover. Actually, that's the opposite, no? Sabi nga ni Hippocrates, when you are sick, don't feed your body, no? Actually, the body is actually telling us, no? When we are sick, we don't have appetite, no? Kasi ang body, gusto niya, ang concentration niya ng kanyang resources is for healing, no? Pagka tayo kumakain, nahahati ang resources ng ating katawan to also help in digestion. Kaya pagka tayo may sakit, mas maganda yung meron tayong fasting. Makinig tayo sa ating katawan. Kung papakainin mo lang, bigyan mo ng mga bone broth, no? Para hindi ma-dehydrate, no? Bigyan mo ng bone broth na merong buto-buto, may protein din naman yan, bigyan mo ng gulay, so malaking tulong yun. At saka merong mga minerals yun, no? So don't force the body to eat when you are sick, no? It's one of the modalities I actually teach when I have patients, no? Na merong flu, merong COVID, no? Sinasabi ko parati is go low carb, na? Kung hindi walang ganang kumain, pabayaan nyo lang, bigyan nyo lang ng bone broth, no? It will help the body recover faster. So next week, ito yung pag-uusapan natin, yung 6-step fasting protocol, no? 1 to 6, no? No sugar, go low carb. Second step is to start eating real foods, healthy fats with each meal. Then 3, stop snacking. Number 4 is to implement the 1-hour rule, no? Hanggang sa umiksi yung eating window. Then you can actually skip 2 consecutive meals, 2 to 3 times a week, no? And then to take quality supplements, no? So why is intermittent very powerful. Kasi nga, ang problema ng katawan natin is too much insulin, no? When we do fasting, no, we actually lower insulin, no? And we increase growth hormone, which is very, very helpful as anti-aging. No? Yan ang pinaka-summary natin ngayon. Unti-unti, paigsiin natin yung eating window from 12 hours na 3 meals, then 8 hours na 3 meals or 2 meals, then later on 4 hours ang meal natin. Or kung kaya nyo, 1 meal a day. No? Pero wag bibiglain yung katawan, dahan-dahan, take it slow. No? This is actually my classmate in BS10 in UST, no? She's based in Canada, no? I've been actually coaching her for the past 2 or 3 years, no? So, hindi na updated yung picture na yan, no? Pero she has maintained her weight, no? Blood sugar niya is actually maganda, mas stable na ngayon, hindi na masyadong tumataas kasi marunong na siya makinig. Mostly keto foods na nagpe-prepare na siya ng keto bread, no? And this one is my nurse when I was working at her company, no? She was able to give birth, no, to a healthy baby girl in 2019. So ngayon, mag-3 years na yung baby niya, no? She had difficulty actually conceiving for many, many years, no? Only when she did ketogenic and intermittent fasting was she able to get pregnant. No? Ito yung isa kong pasyente, no? Kaya lang, hindi pa niya maalis yung sigarilyo. Medyo katigasan ng ulo. Ngayon, nag-exercise na siya regularly. No? Diabetic din yan. Karoon na ng mga problema sa paa niya, no? Non-healing wounds sa paa. Totally dried up when he did keto and IF. So this is what I always ask a patient, no? Are you willing to give up the things that are making you sick, no? I've actually asked a few of you here, no? Kasi merong nag-refer na sa akin from Syzygy community for type 2 diabetes reversal. Yeah, meron ako mga ginagamot from a few of you. No? In the future, I will ask them to do a testimonial, if they agree. So sa first month, medyo uncomfortable, no? Dahil nga sa keto flu, kasi your body is being trained to become fat adapted, lalo na doon sa mga merong mga gamot for diabetes and hypertension. So you have to be guided, no, properly by a medical professional na marunong ng keto and IF, no. But aside from that, you can do it yourself. Basta pag-aralan nyo lang ng maigi, no. So these are some of the books that you can actually get hold of para mas matutunan nyo properly, no. Yeah, si Dr. Jason Poe, expert in fasting, no? Nephrologist based in Toronto, Canada. Yan ang kanyang fasting method website. Marami kayong free na materials na makikita dyan. So that's it for tonight. I hope to see you again next Sunday. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Doc. Thank you very much for that very great and amazing presentation. Actually, I learned a lot, but also I learned a lot that it's okay to have a cheat day, but you have to the day before you fast. And yeah. Okay, so for the interest of time, we will only entertain a few questions. So I'll just read some. Here. From Ayan, pag hindi pa fat burner ang tao at nahihirapan pang mag-fast, ano po ang suggestion nyo? Beginner. Doc, you're muted.
Actually, next Sunday's topic yan, pero sasagutin ko na ngayon. Kailangan matutunan yung maging fat adapted, no? So you do low carb, no? Totally avoid sugar, no? Sugar, sugary drinks, even yung may mga artificial sweetener kasi pagka merong artificial sweetener yung iniinom nyo o kinakain nyo, your body actually thinks, no? Your mind, your brain actually thinks na merong papasok na sugar sa katawan mo, no? So, magre-release na kagad ng insulin yung pancreas. So, makakaramdam ka na kagad ng cravings, hunger pangs. So, mas mahihirapan ka mag-fast when you are on high carb, sugar, and starches. So, begin slow. Muna mong tanggalin yung mga sugary drinks, artificial or natural sweeteners, no? And then, go for real food.
Okay, I hope that answers the questions. Actually, I started also IF, but I started it by using, parang tinanggal ko yung mga sugary foods as advised by Doc Ricco. Okay, we have another question here. Is if our eating window is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and I start working out, strength training, cardio, yoga, etc. at 9 p.m., is it okay to do that even if the body is not on autophagy stage yet? Autophagy.
No, pwede naman. Pero mas maganda kung you do the exercise before the eating window para mas ma-stimulate mo yung autophagy. No? Kasi during the fast, you stimulate autophagy na no? May-enhance yung autophagy lalo when you add the exercise, the high-intensity interval training or strength exercise just before you eat, no? Mga 30 minutes to 1 hour before you eat. So, mas may-enhance.
Okay, so last question for tonight, but maybe we have another session naman next week. So we can have more questions by then. But this one from Olive, pwede ba daw ang singkamas during fasting?
Sa fast, pwede. Kung talaga namang hindi mo kaya pwede ka kumain ng singkamas, broccoli, cauliflower, kasi napakababa naman ng carb content nun. No? Huwag lang marami, no? Isang singkamas lang or ilang slice lang ng singkamas. No? Pwede. Kasi very, mostly fiber and water lang ang singkamas.
Okay, thank you, Doc. I think next week na muna yung ibang question. Also this tonight's presentation also presented by Neutralite. So I think we have some videos as presented earlier by Doc Ricco. There are some supplements that is also a real food. They're real and healthy food that we can utilize. So I think we have some video.
Imagine a world where plants have fingerprints, and where a group of scientists have fingerprinted over 1,300 of the world's botanicals to discover their health benefits, and where every seed is given a unique birth certificate to track its life from seed to supplement. Imagine a group of scientists who search the globe for the best farms on every continent, except Antarctica. Imagine a farm where nature is used to help nature, and where natural pest control is the job of falcons, like copper, and where farmers understand their plants so well that they know the precise moment to harvest to optimize their nutrients. Imagine a supplement company that uses every part of every plant, extracting essential phytonutrients for your benefit, and using the rest of the plant to revitalize the soil on its farms. Imagine a team of engineers so obsessed with product excellence that they run more than 500,000 quality checks a year on their supplements. or a team of packaging engineers who run more than 30,000 tests in extreme conditions to ensure that your supplements will remain pure, safe, and effective from our door to yours. Imagine a life colored with the power of phytonutrients, nurtured every step of the way. Because at Nutrilite, we believe to get truly traceable supplements, you need to go behind the label. These are the real people that bring to life a world you don't have to imagine. This is the real world of Nutrilite traceability.
The human body is an ecosystem that is constantly attempting to maintain inner balance. For this, proper nutrition and a balanced and varied diet with different colored plants is key. But sometimes daily life can make it difficult to consume the minimum of 5 servings of fruit and vegetables recommended by the World Health Organization. That's why you may need support getting all the nutrients and secondary plant compounds known as phytonutrients. Phytonutrients are nutrients found in plants and are thought to be beneficial for human health. Close potential nutrient and phytonutrient gaps and regain your inner balance to enrich your natural potential. Discover Nutrilite Double X, the prime quality food supplement with 12 essential vitamins, 10 essential minerals, 22 plants, and phytonutrients from 5 color groups. All plant ingredients come from sustainable farms where no toxic chemicals or pesticides are being used. Double X is enriched with PhytoBlend, an exclusive complex derived from fruits, vegetables, and herbs from all 5 color groups. Based on the latest science, Nutrilite Double X delivers premium, scientifically proven support for your body to help you achieve the optimal you. Regain your inner balance and enrich your natural potential with Nutrilite Double X. Nutrilite Double X, the prime quality food supplement with 12 vitamins, 10 minerals, 22 plants, and phytonutrients from 5 color groups.
Omega-3 fatty acids help maintain overall health, including healthy cardiovascular and nervous systems. They're essential nutrients, which means our bodies don't produce them. We need to get them from our diet. The American Heart Association recommends at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week from a variety of sources like salmon, anchovies, mackerel, and sardines. We need a balance of fatty acids in our diets, and one way to get that balance is through supplementation. Nutrilite is the world's #1 selling omega supplement brand. It contains an effective blend of omega-3 oils from 4 excellent fish sources. The Nutrilite ocean-friendly approach ensures long-term supply sustainability, and our trusted supplier in Norway uses a state-of-the-art manufacturing process. Every batch of fish oil is tested by a third-party lab to ensure quality and purity in each soft gel. At Nutrilite, we believe in combining the best of nature and the best of science to deliver high-quality products. I like the approach of looking at nature first because that's the best way to get your nutrients.
Okay, so we have really amazing products from Nutrilite that are based from nature. Okay, so tomorrow we'd like also to invite you for our health. Tonight's activity is for the health, and tomorrow is for the wealth. So we'll like to invite you for our No Borders project at 8 o'clock in the evening. So hope to see you, and also please invite some of your friends because these are the opportunities for the new normal. Okay. So I think that's it. Actually, we will have a breakout room. So if you see the join button, join note there, so just click in so you can be with your friends and to do some chit chat. Okay, so I think this is for this all for tonight. So thank you so much. You had been a great audience, and this is Brenda and your host. And stay healthy, wealthy, wise. So be healthy and safe. Good night. Thank you.